So many pages. Okay. So continue. And there is another kind of man whose behavior varies and is not fixed. At one time he adheres to one form of behavior, and another he departs from this form and adopts another, forever varying his behavior. He may be compared to the one who wishes to go to a certain city, but does not know the path nor recognize the roads leading to it. As a result, he is confused on the way. At one time, taking one road for a distance and not finding the city, and then taking different roads for a distance, strain, returning, and not finding the city. About such a person, the sages have written, a toil of a fool exhausts him. I have to remember this expression. He does not know he does not know how to get to the city. It's from Kahalas 10:15. Therefore, one must pity those people who are sunk in meaningless vanities, and teach them the righteous rightness of the weights and justice of the scales. We must teach them how to evaluate the silver and what are the straight ways. The straight ways are so that the man will choose from the beginning of the path, and will bring them bring him to fresh and fertile place where all good is to be found. Sorry. And there is the fear of heaven. Their fear of heaven, which is purpose of all deeds. And this is the question asked by Hashem to all men, as it is written, "What does Hashem your God ask of you, but to fear Him?" It's from Dvarim 10:12. And no deed is of much value without the pure fear. Thus, all men must be informed that one who wishes to attain worthy character traits must mix fear of Hashem in each trait. For fear of Hashem is a common bond among all of the traits, right? So not like all the clowns say, right? This may be compared to the strength which has been strung through the holes of pearls, with a knot tied at the end, and to hold the pearls. There is no doubt that if the knot is cut, all of the pearls will fall. It is the same with fear of Hashem. It secures all of the traits, and if you remove it, all of the good traits will depart from you. And if you do not have good traits, you do not have Torah and mitzvahs. Because all of the Torah hinges upon upon perfection of one's traits. Okay, so let's do up to here. So meaning without fear of Hashem, there is nothing. Okay, so let's go a little back. One second. So Michelangelo we did. Okay. Sorry. So okay, and it says, so is another kind of man whose behavior varies and not fixed. So this person he heard that this me that is good. So he exhorted this in this book and right in this trade. Or some people say, is it good? Is it this book good? I say, yeah, it's a book good. Yeah. So should I learn it? I say, okay, you should learn it. I mean, if a person is excited, why should I say no? And then sometime later, so he said, so is it book good? I say, it's book good, but did you finish that? No, I did not buy it. But you asked me, is it good? And you wanted to buy, and I told you it's good. And you, what's going on? And then this person jumped from this, I want to attend this class, this, what is it? Tomer Devora, because 13 principle, 13 ways of mercy, right? Attributes, not ways, attributes of mercy. So now it's this rabbi promised that if somebody is going to learn this book, they said this happened. I said, look, let's just stop it. Just start reading something. Stop jumping from one subject to another. Stick to one. You have a million books or 3 books. Stick to one. Just start reading one and be dedicated to it. And then you want to add another one. There is no problem. So these people usually don't achieve anything. I don't say that achieve they have to become a big scholar, but at least finish a book with all the commentaries. When you read every word, every commentary. So some people, it said, so many pages, they start skipping around. You're normal. Well, if this author, this author, I have no doubt he wrote these books. He's some kind of divine inspiration, some kind, whatever is it. Right. So and if he put this book in a certain order. So he had some great reason to do so. If you see how many sources he uses, of course I don't name all of the sources. I mean some of them, but not all of them. And there's such a deep idea. So for sure he knows the order of the proper working on our characters. So when the person is just skipping from this gate, from that gate, it's only a matter of time when he's going to forget. What he already covered, what not. And he's going to skip completely things. So these people, as I said, from my experience, never achieve anything. Again, achieve, just finish one book. Right? Okay. So again, this sentence. And there is another kind of man whose behavior varies and not being fixed. At one time, he adheres to one form of behavior, and another he departs from it and from this form and adopts another, for wherein in his behavior. Working on this, working on another, so that's he may be compared to the one who wishes to go to a certain city, but does not know the path and does not recognize its roads, meaning to lead it. He wants, and plus I would say he would not ask the passersby for directions. So he shy, if I going on a road, so for sure I'm going to get to that city. Who said? But there's so many roads. Just because you took any road, you're going to arrive to that city. Who said so? Right. As a result, he's confused on the way. At one time, taking one road for a distance and not finding the city, and then taking a different road for a distance and straying, returning, and not finding the city. Right, as it says about this person, the sages say the toil of the fool exhausts him. Right, and is this person tired? Yes, and it looks like he's doing something 100%, but it's all useless because, as we always say, a person has to have a direction. A person has to have a structure. Right, he does not know how to get to the city. Right, it's Kachalas 10:15. So now we see the commentary. And it says, commentary where it says, toil of the fools. Rashi attributes this lack of direction to the lack of the Torah study. Quoting the pasuk, "Your word is a lamp for my feet." Right, so from Tehillim 119, verse 105. Right, so your word, meaning Hashem Torah, is a lamp for my feet, meaning learning Torah, I know where to go. Right, but if person does not learn the Torah, and many people assume that because they learn bits and pieces here and there, they know all of the Torah and they know what to do, and they rely on some clown rabbi that told them what they're going to do. He's more into jokes and more into weather, into politics, into current world situations. So he's not going to get to character traits, what needs to be changed. You understand? So they rely on their own source. They know never going to get to it, and that's it. The person is going to be this wicked person all his life. He explains that David HaMelech was saying, I look into your Torah to avoid error. So meaning, right, if Torah says it's good, it's good. If Torah says absolutely not good, so we stay away from it. But a person must have this Torah. Rav Sadia Gaon says that instead of consulting someone who knows which direction to take, the fool repeats failure after failure, insisting of doing it on his own. Right? That's like child. Child, and don't I want to do it myself. I do it. Right? They want to do it, and it's very cute to hear from them, but they don't know what to do and how to do it. But if it comes from adult, that's dangerous, right? For him. Right, so meaning that he's not going to. The problem is that he's not going to ask for direction. That's the issue. So, but of course, we cannot know all of the Torah right away. Even if I start learning, still I don't know many things. So I have to consult somebody who's more knowledgeable than me to help me in the general direction. Yeah, he gives me direction. He gives me like sources. He gives me hints what to do, and then I can develop further. But I need the direction. This can be compared, like a sub-commentary, this can be compared to the driver on his way to work who chooses not to turn on his radio and hear the traffic updates being reported from the helicopter flying above. How foolish it is for him not to listen to reporter advice about which roads to take and to which to avoid. After all, from all those heights and from the vantage point, the reporter has a much broader perspective, allowing him to see the trouble spot and advise accordingly, right? So there's a person who has this information, this person on a helicopter. He sees all of the roads. He sees that it was a traffic jam. There you see there is a car accident. He sees there's road work. So out of 4 lines, they close 3 or they close 2. Of course, like in rush hour, that's a killer. So he told you that because we did not, this driver did not to turn the radio and hear the traffic updates. That's the problem. That's 100% problem. It's his fault. The information was available. He chose not to listen. He was listening to the music or something. The same can be said about our elders, and certainly about Torah sages, meaning that they have like this reporter who sees from the top, he sees the full picture. Their wisdom as experience grants them a broader perspective that allows them to advise us on how to avoid the spiritual traffic jams, right? So they already went, and sometimes I know the answer to the question even before I finish reading. Of course, I'm trying to read the second time to make sure that I did not miss details. But many questions were asked there before, right? And after sometimes you get this experience and you know exactly what the person means. Not exactly, but most likely 95%. You know how the question is going to end for you know from the beginning, right? It's this person from the helicopter. How foolish it would be not to be followed the advice. Like he sees exactly, and he sees Mishra Shanim, end of chapter 3. I remember what it says in chapter 3. So I think this Ramchal is a master of the parables as well. So he said that there is imagine a maze. I don't know if you ever been in the maze. A few times in my life I've been to the maze, and it's it's scary because it looks exactly the same, and you go in circles. Of course, there is the doors for frustrated people that they can walk out. There is no problem. But if you try to get to the destination, it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Meaning you have to take all of the turns correctly, like all of the turns, not some of them, all the turns correctly, right? And it says many people in life like this, in this maze, they have no idea how everything is exactly the same. But there is in the middle of the maze the pavilion, and so there is some height like a booth or something. So there is a person, right? And he tell no, take second left, and then a right. Right, so why? How does he know? So in Ramchal compared this person with somebody who already like traveled this path, this maze, and then he was able to overcome these obstacles and knew exactly how to turn and when to turn. So now he can advise you, but you without experience, like most likely you're going to die there from hunger or something. Okay. So again, right. So that's I mean, like the different parables, but same idea. So for advice for us: don't be arrogant and just follow the good path. Also, such a person. This about such a person, the sages written the fool. The total fool exhausts him, right? So I mean, he works hard, but it does not bring any results. He does not know how to go to the city. That 15. Therefore, one must have pity on the people who are sunk in the meaningless vanities and teach them the righteousness of the weights and justness of the scales. So it's like something similar with that we answer today. Some people they're just ignorant. It's not like they're heretics, right? Even though they project. Heretical ideas, but because they completely completely lost. So we have to try to help them. Of course, if he's a fool, he's going to reject our help and try and say, "No, I'm going to do it myself." Where do you get it from the book? How much is the book? Oh, I can afford 7 of these books. I can read. Yeah, you can read. Would you understand what it says there? I can read even better than you. Okay, you read it even better than me. Will you understand? Will you follow this advice? Okay, no problem. So there are some heroes like that. Many people say heroes like that. Continue. We must teach them how to evaluate the silver and what the straight ways are. Right? We have to teach them all the strategies, right? All of the approach. What Torah says is good, what Torah says is not good, so that the man will choose from the beginning of the path and will bring him to the flesh, to the fresh and fertile path, a place where all good to be found, right? So meaning that if you're going to follow our advice, and he's going to go to the right path, so it's going. So again, he's not doing us a favor, right? He's doing only himself a favor because he is going to arrive to the right place, fertile place, and that is the fear of heaven, which is a purpose of all deeds. Again. And there is a fear of heaven, that the purpose of all deeds, right? So meaning all of the deeds for us to instill a fear of heaven. Okay, and this is the question asked by Hashem to all men, as it is written. I mean through Moshe Rabbeinu. What does Hashem your God ask of you but to fear Him? So meaning Hashem, right? Ask us. So He wants ask us, meaning He wants us to fear Him. Right? Did he try to hide it? Right? He did not try to hide it. He says clearly, all I want from you is to fear me. Right? Of course, as we said in the beginning of this section, it's only for our benefit. Because if a person has a fear of Hashem, he's going to choose the righteous path and get the reward that he's deserving for his deeds. And that's what Hashem wants. Hashem's in His graciousness and mercy, He wants to reward us. That's it. He wishes only good to us. But what can He do? Right? If He created the laws, reward and punishment, then some people go do the things to their detriment. It's not His fault. It's consequences of our actions. Commentary. And it says, Gemara Brachas 33b asks, if fear of Hashem a simple task, right? Like from this as well, what does Hashem want from? Like it's nothing, right? So the Talmud asks if fear of Hashem is a simple task. That the Torah says, but to fear. An answer, yes, it is for Moshe, right? On the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Yecheskel Sarna, Rabbi Yecheskel Sarna, says that this Gemara is a Rambam source for his statement that every person has the ability to reach level of piety of Moshe Rabbeinu. For since Moshe taught the above pasuk to the Jewish nation, in essence he was hinting that just as the fear of Hashem was simple task for himself, so it is for every Jew. So it's very interesting. And as you see, that's what we mentioned today, that a person is going to be asked why he did not fulfill his potential in life, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu, when he said what Hashem your God asked of you, meaning that you're able to achieve it, right? In some sense, right? Just so for Moshe taught the above part of the Jewish nation, in essence, was hinted just as fear of Hashem was simple task for himself, so it's for every Jew. So he said, Moshe Rabbeinu said that every Jew can achieve it if they only would want it bad enough. Sub-commentary. And from fear of Hashem comes out all of the great other great character traits. And it says, this surely does not mean that each and every person can actually reach the level of Moshe, for it is impossible. Of course, we understand. But rather, the intent here is that every person has the ability to fulfill his own potential, right? As we said, and that was expected of us to achieve our own potential based on the talents that Hashem gave us, and the talents and abilities. Fulfill his as Moshe fulfilled his. Hashem does not judge us in relations to others, but only in relation to ourselves, right? What we did not achieve. That has been the case. Every person in his own right can be as great as Moshe, right? So meaning it says the see Ramban on Shmos 4:13, Ruach Chaim on Avos 4:1, meaning what? That there's on a level of Moshe, and the same Moshe Rabbeinu achieve his potential in this world, whatever his potential was, so I can do the same, achieve my potential. So in this case, a regular person can be compared to Moshe Rabbeinu. He achieved his purpose in this creator, and he used his potential to the max. So we can do the same, right? So that's the comparison similarity. On the other hand, the Rabbi Elchanan Wasserman explained that there is an aspect of the Moshe's character that every person can actually be equal. Can actually equal. That of the being servant of Hashem. So Elchanan Wasserman, they say no, it's not like a potential, but be servant of Hashem. Okay. Just as Moshe was completely subservient to the point that he devoted his entire life, entire self, for the sake of Hashem, so too every person is able to reach that level of divine service. It says, see the Kovitz Shiurim 1 introduction. Right? So every one of us can become a servant of Hashem, and it's expected. Continue. And no deed of such a value without pure fear, right? So Hashem wants us to fear Him, and all of the deeds, if no value, and unless they're mixed with fear. What does it mean? Thus, all men must be informed that one who wishes to attain worthy character traits must mix fear with which is a trait. So, meaning when a person has a fear of Hashem, right, he's not going to do stupid things, and right, he's not to jeopardize his deeds. right? So meaning this fear of Hashem is like a preservance for his character traits. For each trait, for the fear of Hashem is a common bond among all of the traits, right? That's what the common bond. This may be compared to the strength which has been strung through the holes of pearls, right? So if you have pearls, like and you tie the knot on one side or two sides, there is no problem. They're going to hold. But if you cut the knot, guess what? It's right. You're going to lose them, right? They're going to fall down, right? So why? Because this knot is compared to the fear of God. So if you don't have fear of God, meaning all of this great character traits as this precious pearls, right? You're going to lose them, right? So it's the same with fear of Hashem. It secures all of the traits, and if you remove it, all the good traits will depart from you, right? So you remove this knot as a fear of Hashem. It's only a matter of time when a person loses all the good character traits. And if you do not have a good traits, do not have a Torah and mitzvahs, right? So and without good character traits, there is no Torah and mitzvahs. And we see today people deny that importance of fear Hashem, right? All of them, Chabadniks, Mother Orthodox, or other clowns, right, across the spectrum, and the person who learns Torah like Musar, like it's the basics of the basics. So we did not get to the actual text yet. So just so we know what we've been learning for so many hours today, it's only introduction to this book. So before going into details of what to do, it's like we have to have a roadmap. So this fear of Hashem, he said, I don't know how many times he repeated, and it's echoed in the commentary. It's like basic requirements. So when they say, no, you have to only love Hashem, so you see the people, even though they have a long beards and big hats, they're absolutely useless. Like they do not know basics of the basics. And so that's sometimes leave a normal person speechless. How could you deny that if it's said in all of the books? Right, in Chumash and all of the books. Okay, so again, the sentence, and if you do not have a good traits, you do not have Torah and mitzvahs, right? So meaning they fall off. Because all of the Torah hinges upon a reflection on one's traits. Okay, so and here we have a commentary. And it says, the author's words are very clear and convey a very powerful message. Nothing else matters as one life's nothing else matters in one's life more than tikkun hamidas. Right? Tikkun hamidas is the perfection of the character traits. Right? So it's the most important part in our life. Okay. Nothing else matters in one's life more than tikkun hamidas. So meaning when a person corrects his character traits, so only then he or she can become a servant of Hashem. Right, so what prevents a person from being a servant of Hashem? Very simple, the ego, right? Other like laziness, all of these other bad character traits. So meaning what? When person perfects his or her character, right? Through tikkun hamidas, then they would be able to fulfill their purpose in life. For since the world's For since the world and the man were created only for the sake of Torah, right? As the prophet Yirmiyahu says, were it not for the covenant in day and night, I would not have appointed the ordinance of heaven and earth. Right? So Hashem said, it's Yirmiyahu 33:25. So he said, if it's not for a covenant of the Torah, meaning if nobody is going to learn Torah, nobody is going to absorb Torah, Hashem said, I don't need this world with all of your nice architecture, nice museum that's going to go to waste. Right? right? By having a day and night. Day and night meaning that Jews must learn Torah day and night. And since this very Torah hinges upon right, is sustained by and dependent upon the perfection of the midas, right? So he said, if it's not for a Torah, I don't need this one. And the Torah is hinged upon people who support it, who learn it, who fulfill it, right? And fulfillment of the commandments, depends on the perfection of the midas, right? Like working on character traits. Then certainly the perfection of the midas rates the man's highest priority. So logically, right? Otherwise, so if person has a rotten character traits, they're not going to observe Torah. So and the world is not needed to Hashem Chas Shalom. So in order for the world to exist, a person must work on his midas. Very simple, very straightforward. Furthermore, only a person who possesses midas tovos, right, good character traits, can acquire Torah and mitzvahs. So meaning, right, a person who is a rotten character trait, they're not going to be able to observe Torah. Okay. Okay, 1 second, let me turn that off. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. Okay. So we see from here how all things are interdependent. So working on our character traits, guaranteed that we're going to observe Torah, and observing of the Torah is guaranteed to like a continuous of creation. Okay. So continue. One second. Okay. Furthermore, only a person whose possession midas tovos, good character traits, can acquire the Torah and mitzvah. So, right. This is simply because such a trait as emes, he's translated fear, intellectual honesty. So emes we translate as a truth, right? So, but he's intellectual honesty. Okay. And anava, humility, and simcha, joy, and yiras shamayim, fear of heaven, are necessary ingredients for the pure and unadulterated limud haTorah, right? Torah study. So again, for a Torah study, you need intellectual honesty, humility, joy, meaning you have to do it with happiness, fear of Hashem. So, right, only then you can have a truly Torah study. A person with above midas is someone who will value the holiness of and the greatness of the Torah, and will be willing to open his heart and mind to learn it no matter what it takes. Right? Not only when it's convenient, when it's not convenient, because right, maybe it's not convenient, maybe I'm sick, maybe I'm tired, maybe this and that. It's absolutely irrelevant. Why? Because a person knows the value of the Torah and what it brings with it. Regrettably, the opposite is true. For someone who failed to take the initiative to prefer his character, right? So meaning is opposite. Okay. So we finished that piece. So let's continue with another one. And it says, and with regard to all of the traits, good and bad, the wise man is able to transform these bad traits into good ones, right? And the full good to bad. So we're going to see examples, right? How, right? So good traits to bad. If a person walks in the darkness and does not reflect upon the perfection of his traits, it is possible it is possible that there will be exist within him that trait that will negate all of his merits, as in the case of the someone who's who is haughty and boastful of his deeds and shows himself off. His whole intent will being to aggrandize himself and to rule over other men. And he always speaks of the failings of his fellow men in order to gain honor through another's disgrace. Such a man is like one who pours fine wine into the large cask that has a small hole on the bottom. There is no question that all of fine wine will escape through the little hole if it is not sealed. It is the same for the boastful person. Though he may be filled with Torah, he will lose all of his thoughts. Lose all of it through one evil trait if he does not hasten to correct it. Okay, so I guess let's stop here. Go to the beginning, and we're going to explain. Okay, so we continue. Again, this piece is many commentaries, and it says, okay. And with regard to all of the traits, good and bad, the wise man is able to transform the bad traits to the good ones. So first of all, before that, we said that a person must recognize whatever is good and whatever is bad. So in wise man, so with his wisdom, he knows how to fix, and he knows how to transform bad traits into good one. Okay. And the full good one, into bad one. So let's first read the example of the righteous person. It says wise man. Okay, wise man is able to transform bad into good. Okay, this means that he is able to use seemingly bad traits for a good purpose. For example, the midah of gava, haughtiness, to stand up in defense of Hashem and His Torah. See the gate of haughtiness at the page 82. Okay, we're not going to get to page 82 today, or anytime soon, but right, so we say, as we actually use this example today, right? So like, when we were talking about this ingredients, so sometimes like in this dish, they require some ingredients a lot and some ingredients a little. So what is a little? Salt is a little, and other ingredients, meat and vegetables, is a lot, right? So, but this midah, this haughtiness, is very important when you stand up in honor of Hashem, right? And opposite as well, as this fool would take something good and use it for bad. So commentary: this person does the opposite. He takes a midah. Midah that is in essence good and uses for it wrongly, like using the midah of love improperly, right? So how can you use it properly? 100%. As the authors say further on, one who loves has a love for women will gaze at them constantly, eventually leading to a person's immorality, right? So love, but to wrong people in the wrong time, right? This idea is explained in Gate of Love. Okay. Continue. If person walks in a darkness and does not reflect upon the perfection of his traits, it is possible that there will exist within him a trait that will negate all of his merits. So meaning, of course, not all of the traits are equal, and not all of the sins are equal, as they judge differently on heavenly scales. Right? So there could be one trait that negates all of them, all of his merits. What is it? And in the case of someone who is haughty and boastful of his deeds, right? and shows himself off, right? So he's holy and boastful in his deed. So he did something good. He gave charity, but now everybody now must hear that he did it, like he repeated 70 times, right? Boastful in his deeds, and shows himself off. His sole intent being to aggrandize himself and to rule over other men, right? Rule himself over other men, and always speaks, right? So meaning even if he does something positive, right? It's only for his self advertisement, right? And be in charge of other men, tell other people what to do. Himself to rule over the men, and it always speaks of the failings of the fellow man in order to gain honor through his to another's disgrace, right? And we know people like that. So everybody's stupid, everybody this, okay, but this person tried to put himself on top. Such a man is like the one who pours fine wine in a large cask, and there is a small hole in the bottom. So meaning the wine is going to escape, not as fast like for a period of time it would looks like even full barrel, but it's going to escape little by little. But there is no question that all this fine wine will escape through the little hole if it is not sealed. It is the same for a boastful person. Boastful person is exactly the same. In what sense? A person may, though the person may be filled with Torah, right? He will lose all of it through evil trait if he does not hasten to correct it, right? So meaning as like person has the Torah as I think we have this clip about basket full of books, right? It's I think it's from Talmud Megillah. So it says like a person, the one of great say, I'm not going to eulogize this person. He's like a basket full of books, right? A person who possessed a lot of information, but he did not share with others. He was like a tzaddik to himself, just learn on his own. Maybe he did not arrive to the right conclusions even, right? Just because somebody possesses a lot of information does not mean that he possesses Torah. Two different things. Okay. I mean, this information could be Torah related, but it's not wisdom yet. Though he may be filled with Torah, commentary, though he may be filled with Torah, the word in here is very significant. Filled with Torah, right? As we said, this basket. Describe an individual whose entire essence is one of the Torah, a personality of the highest caliber, right? Torah fills every inch and ounce of his being. Nevertheless, it will be lost because of the tiniest flaw of his character. Right on like it's scary thing what it says here. So here this person is full of Torah. Fill every inch of an ounce of his being, right? He is a person dedicated to Torah, but he's going to lose it. Nevertheless, it will be lost because of the tiniest fault in his character, and the need of tikkun hamidas, right? And need for tikkun hamidas is therefore extremely essential, right? So, meaning that he must fix his character traits. So let's and now like sub commentary, and it says Rabbi Yitzchak Blazer, otherwise known as Rabbi Itzeler Petersburg, is illustrious Talmud of Rav Israel Salanter. That's all, right? Who wrote actually his book, or Israel, I think. Dedicated 4 hours a day to study Musar. So this great sage learned Musar on 4 hours. I guess for 4 hours is more time that average person learns all of the Torah. Right? When Rabbi Israel was asked why his student, who was already reputed to be a person of the sterling character, possessing greatness in Torah, needs so much time for the Musar rather than using it for the more Torah study, he responded with the following parable. On Shabbos there is a requirement to have two whole loaves of challah, known lechem mishneh. Right? That's right. So on Shabbos we have to have the two loaves. If one of the loaves is complete, and the second one is a choice between a small challah roll, which is complete, and a huge challah that has a small piece missing from the end, which one is preferable to use? Certainly, the preferable to use the small challah. So complete is always take precedence. We actually have it in one of our classes, because while the large challah seems to have much more presentable and has all of the advantages of the size and beauty, right? The small imperfection invalidates its use. So meaning because of the small piece missing, right, and it invalidates its use because it says for the lechem mishnah you need initially you need whole breads complete. Especially if there is the option to use shalem, a complete challah. So, I mean, before we continue, so if a person does not have choice, so of course he has to take the one that is bigger. Even this incomplete, that incomplete, so we take the one that is bigger. But if somebody is complete tiny roll and maybe leave even a stale, right? But and another one is a complete challah, so it's an incomplete challah. You take this small roll. The same is true with my student Rabbi Itzale. He knows his own great Torah greatness and exceptional character, but at the same time, he's concerned not to overlook even minutest character flaws, through which many of his accomplishments will seep out, meaning that he's going to lose, to be lost. It is to that end that he manifests the daily study of Musar for many hours. Right? Okay, so let's continue with this question. So the next question. So, should the level of cruelty one must display against a heretic depends upon their level of heresy and the reason they acquire it. Okay. Say a person is a heretic due to his surroundings, and as another person is a heretic out of the conviction, and also leads other to of the derech. Okay, should one be equally cruel to both of them, and assume this cruelty will have different effect over the individual to that? Okay, so. Let's do from the beginning. Should the level of cruelty that one must display against the heretics depends on their level of heresy. The level of heresy and, of course, the circumstances of heresy. So if a person is a heretic due to his surroundings, most of the people are not heretic, they're just ignoramuses. So we cannot be cruel to them because they're doing this because of the lack of knowledge. We have to teach them what it's around the heretic who actually knows and purposely goes against Hashem, against the Torah, against the sages, and lead others to sin. This is a heretic. I think I had the clip when a person said, "I'm Epicurus." And the rabbi said, did you learn this and this for 10 years? You learn it from day to night, the whole Torah? He said, no, I did not. I just don't agree. So he said, you're not Epicurus, you're ignoramus. Ignoramus is a person who does not know. Right? And in order to be heretic, you have to be something that denier. You can deny only things that he knows. But if person try to lead other people away from Hashem, that's right. So against this person, we have to go strong, right? Cruelty, right? Cruelty against this person, not against the first type that just ignorant when he's like that because of his surroundings. Okay. Heretics out of conviction that one leads the others of the derech. Right. Should one be equally cruel to the both of them and assume this cruelty will have a different effect? Cruelty will differ over each individual. Yeah, for sure. As I said, to the first type, we should not be cruel. But the other who leads people to sin, we actually should be cruel. I'm not sure if we're going to get to it. I mean, it's from Parashat Bereshis when Hashem said that to the Nachash, to the serpent. I mean, he did not talk to the serpent. No, and so he did not talk. Why? Because he led other people to sin, right, and being punished. So, meaning a person who leads others to sins, he is going to get punished. And same with we draw the parallel with inciters, like what's it? For idol worshiping. So usually we're not allowed to put somebody in a situation when we provoke a person to sin. Usually not. Right? Absolutely not. It's forbidden, and even if a person is facing the death sentence, we try to find them, meaning the Jewish court, which they try to find that some circumstances not to execute him, but in a case of a person who instigated other people to sin, or sin with idolatry, even they did not do anything. So usually a person being punished for the deeds. The person said, I'm going to light the fire, I'm going to light the fire on Shabbos. He did not. There is no punishment. But if a person was trying to instigate others to serve idols, right, even though they did not serve, so the person deserved a death penalty. And we can actually put him in the situation. We can provoke him, and like as Rambam explained, we can bring two witnesses, hide them somewhere, and that person said, "Oh, you told me about this idol, about Yoshka. Can you tell me more? But I don't want to do it in front of the people. Maybe you can meet me in this place." And this person comes, all right, and there are two people hide themselves in the bushes somewhere around the corner. Some like they can see that person's clearly when hear him talk. So then they can testify in a court. So it's absolutely legal, and that testimony is going to be accepted, even though it was a setup. So in all other cases, setup are not allowed. So this, so what I'm trying to say, right, in short, that this person who is the instigator, right, so to him we have to be cruel. It's not a nice thing to do, or it's actually obligation. So next question, Rav, is it possible for someone to get the root to the root of an inclination he carried along with him all the way from the previous incarnation? Is it possible for someone to get to the root of the inclination he carried out with him all the way from a previous incarnation? That's my what I'm going to say. It's my personal opinion. I don't think so, unless we have a prophet who is going to tell us. But for us to figure out that it's actually from previous incarnation, I think it's a mission impossible, because it could be something from our childhood that we simply don't remember. How many episodes do you remember from your childhood? So me personally, I remember. So if I count all the episodes, maybe it's going to be 2 hours or 3 hours for my childhood. That's it. Maybe I'm over generous. Maybe I don't know, 20 minutes, like all of the situations. That's it. That's it. So meaning I don't remember what happened in these years. And then after the childhood, right? In my youth, I don't remember most of the things. So maybe something influenced me. So right. So unless we have a prophet, it would be impossible to say. But our job is to recognize something is wrong and just try to fix it. Okay, I'm not sure where these people left. Interesting. Okay, so continue. So continue. Next question. Rav, should someone who's still working on his ability to differentiate between what is really good and bad for him assume that most of the times the right decision is the one that most likely to gain against his will? Toda. Again, should someone who is still working on ability to differentiate between what is really good and bad for him assume that most of the times the right decision is that one that is more likely to go against his will? I don't think so. I mean, if it's against the will, a person will, it means that the person is wicked. He's a rotten person, and whatever he like a spiritually sick person, as we learned today, and whatever that all the negative traits that is good to them, and he desired them. But if a person on a path to he recognized that I must to fix myself, differentiate between good and evil. So I don't think that all of the decision of this person will automatically be wrong. I don't that he would not. The soul is going to reject something that's good. I don't think so. It's only when the person is rotten, and I know that people rotten to the core. So with them, for sure, they're so spiritually sick. Whatever they desire is, whatever they say good, it's opposite to the truth. Right, but if person is in a quest for the truth, I don't think so. I don't think so. We can say for sure. Whatever is against his will, that it means good. I don't think so. Okay. So next, so let's not try not to judge ourselves to the negative direction, to the negative side. Okay. So next question. Question about midas. Okay. I wonder how can we be more forgiving? If it is a root issue, is that we scared of being hurt by individual again? Mm-hmm. If from our understanding of the other party midas, it is very likely to them for them to do the same thing again, and we are not always be able to avoid the situation, how can we convince ourselves to forgive them? Can this midas be corrected by learning more Torah and topic of bitachon? So let's read again and try to answer. So I wonder how can we be more forgiving? If it is root issue, we are scared of being hurt again with this individual. So before we continue, let's try to answer this part. So somebody offended us, somebody hurt us. So first of all, we don't have to tell this person that we forgive them, right? If we tell this person that we forgive them, it's actually going to be act of cruelty, right? Because they you put a stumbling block in front of the blind. You make them to hurt you again. Or I did I did this to you because you deserve it, because you like that, right? Right. So it's absolutely not right approach. So We try like you have to forgive this person in your heart, but don't tell them, right? And why should I forgive this person in my heart if he or she like continue to do all of this bad thing to me? So one of the reasons, right? And be selfish. Well, what does it mean? Be selfish meaning if this person hurt you and you don't forgive them, so Hashem would bring you in the next reincarnation, and you would do all of the bad, and you in the next incarnation would be able to do all of these bad things to that person who needs that. You understand? So it's you do you're not doing a favor to that person. You're doing favor to yourself. I don't want to come here again. So I just do whatever I do, to cleanse my character. And that person, let him be punished. Let it be. I mean, of course, I don't want to provoke them. It's very important not to provoke anybody, especially if you know that somebody has this rotten character. And that's it. But we must forgive them. It's for our own good. It's not, again, you're not doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor, right? Who needs them, right? To take advantage of them in the next life. Okay. And that is why in some situations, I mean, look, of course, all the situations different, but some, you see the marriage and he is suffering from his wife, or the wife is suffering from her husband. It's very, very possible, as our sages explained, that in previous carnation they were also married to each other, and he was actually abusive to her, and now in this relationship she abusive to him. Well, so I mean, who needs that? Who needs to live this life? Okay. If from our understanding. So again, the whole sentence. I wonder how can we be more forgiving if the root of the issue that we are scared that being hurt by the individual again. So if we hurt, we try to distance ourselves. Of course, as we understand, it's not always possible. If from our understanding, the other party need us, it is likely for them to do the same thing again. And we are not always able to avoid the situation. Okay, so at least the word, I think that the key word is not always. So meaning all these times that you can avoid the situation, so you should. Meaning said, I need to go. Like, what do you mean? We came to visit. Yeah, you came to visit me, but I need to go. Somebody called me to work, and just leave. Something, I don't know. And these people one day or after some time they would get the message. So you're not welcome. I don't welcome you to come here. So of course I have to suffer from you because you're related. You're my brother. You're my mother. Or you're my I don't know whatever. But guess what? I don't want to be here. Right? I don't want to be abused. I don't want to hear from you anything. Okay. So how can we convince ourselves to forgive them? So I will already explain. So for our own benefit, I mean, who needs this next reincarnation, right? Right after all suffering in this, to take my revenge against them. Can this be midas corrected by learning more Torah in topic of bitachon? 100%. So Hashem created Torah as an answer to everything, and many answers and all the details. It's actually from we're going to see in this book. Orchos Tzaddikim. So next question. I have a question about anger. Okay, wonder if it's proper for us to feel burning inside toward the wicked rabbis. If there is a line that we are overly angry toward those people, if we only act by sharing the more truth against their ideology. Okay, so question about anger. Wonder if it's proper for us to feel burning inside toward the wicked rabbis. I think so, right? Because all of the wicked rabbis, so they're not wicked against you. They don't know you, but they are wicked against Hashem, right? And against the holy people, against the Torah. So that's one. One is the and the same when person is indifferent to this wickedness, that's the issue. But when a person is burning inside, that's a proper that's a proper attitude. And is there a line that we are overly angry toward those people? There is a line to cross, okay? Or if we only act by sharing more truth against the ideology. No, I mean that's fine. That's fine. I mean it's not like still we're not allowed to take like baseball bat and smash their head, right? It's never allowed, right? So and to try to contain the damage, yeah, we try to spread the truth. Yeah, that's okay. So the next question. So continuation, okay, question about midas, forgiven. Is it bound to the other party having Torah or not? Is it bound to the other party? Just 1 second. So let me read the previous question. Wonder how can we be more forgiving if the root is the issue we're scared of being hurt again. Okay. Hurt again. If from our descendants, so they're going to hurt us again. So I thought it's a different question. Okay. Is it bound to the other party having Torah or not? I'm not sure what does it mean. Can it mean this? I mean, person is not allowed to be abusive in any circumstances, like whether he knows Torah or does not know Torah, with a Jew or Gentile. So I'm not sure what does it mean. Okay, so next, but let's go to the next question. Is it possible for someone to get root of the inclination? He carried along with him all the way from previous incarnation. Okay, so let's see, clear up. If if the person is completely sure that this inclination comes from a previous life due to the perfectly recalling himself acting upon it from a very young age, okay, for no apparent reason or trigger whatsoever, okay, could he perhaps do regression, since Rav Moshe finds and that's all allowed them extreme cases? Okay, so again, but I don't see what is extreme case. Okay, if a person is completely sure that inclination comes from previous life, okay, due to the perfectly recalling himself, acting up to an opponent from a young age, right? So no apparent reason. Okay, so let's say this person has a basis to believe this it came from a previous incarnation. So I mean, why do you need regression? Like the bottom line doesn't matter what is the sources. Like the matter is our goal is to fix it. Doesn't matter where it came from. Even if it blow with the wind. I mean, even if it be because of his environment, of your environment, it's absolutely irrelevant when it came from a previous life, right? The fact is, it is there, it is in me, and the first and second fact is it's absolutely wrong, and I have to work on it. So, the source is irrelevant. I mean, it's not completely irrelevant. I mean, it does not change the situation. That does not change anything in our behavior. Right? Not the way we approach things. Maybe if it's from previous incarnation, so person would be would expect that it would be not such a easy thing to fix, and he would exert more efforts. But that's it. I'm referring to the possibility that the other party may change due to the being involved in Torah. Yeah, I mean, everybody can change in the involved in Torah. Right? The Torah has this ability to change people. But again, a person is going to change or not going to change. we're going back to this question that we should forgive them, right? Like, of course, we're trying to help them, but it's one thing to help them, but another thing is to be responsible for our own souls, right? So I don't want to come here as a reincarnation because of that person. Okay.